We get the feeling that Michael's nearly ashamed of the stigma that goes along with his last name. This is what makes Al Pacino role significantly the hardest performance in the entire film to portray. He's the one doing all the heavy lifting as he has to go from outsider and completely against the family's actions and businesses to, by film's end, head of the family. Brando has the teary-eyed moments that actors live for, but Michael is too cold for that. Never for a second as he gradually comes to power do we think this turn is ridiculous or laughable, and in lesser hands it very easily could have been. The final act of the film is loaded with plot points as decisions are made left and right as the film becomes visually and emotionally captivating. As the film draws to an end, Michael has gained half of the power of the family and makes most of the decisions. He's treated, not with respect, but as an outsider, too high-ranking for his experience. The Corleone family is on the brink of disaster and losing everything, yet we never get that feeling. We see the two leaders' confidence and we keep our confidence in them, even if the other family members doubt their decisions. Michael goes to Las Vegas and makes Mo Green an offer he can't refuse. Then he refuses. This is Pacino, shining moment in the film. There's no screaming or the hoopla that goes along with his name. After he treats Mo Green like utter garbage, Fredo, John Cazale, gets upset and starts barking at him. Coppola is perfectly on his game here, too, as we watch from Fredo's height, looking down on Michael who sits in a chair as he coldly looks up with his radiating eyes, that have so much going on behind them, and simply says, "Fredo, don't ever take sides with anyone against family again. Ever." That's some serious foreshadowing for the second film, and only after watching the second film can you go back and appreciate what Pacino and Coppola pulled off in this scene. Cazale too. We have no idea how serious Michael is. These are some of the stepping stones that make Michael's change believable. He's not quite his father. Vito has a soft spot for his children, admittedly so, as he's capable of turning on anyone and using the line, "It's strictly business," when it comes to family issues. Michael's sister, Connie, calls him a cold-hearted bastard at the end of the film. It's hard to find better superlatives than that, yet we still love him. The interesting thing about Pacino's performance is that he doesn't sugarcoat it. He doesn't try to make the audience love him. He plays the character as the character should be played. That's the sign of great writing, great acting, and great directing, since we could have very easily seen someone try to make him likable. This crew just presents the character with all his flaws and lets us decide if we love him or hate him. It's films like The Godfather that made me wish I had amnesia, so I could feel the same heart-pounding moments over and over again. This movie is strong, good script, great casting, excellent acting, and over-the-top directing. It is hard to find a movie done this well. It is 29 years old and has aged well. Even if the viewer does not like mafia type of movies, he or she will watch the entire film. The audience is glued to what will happen next as the film progresses. It's about family, loyalty, greed, relationships, and real life. This is a great mix, and the artistic style makes the film memorable. This is by far the best movie ever to portray organized crime. This movie goes deep inside and shows it all inside out. With superb acting by especially Al Pacino as Mike Corleone and Marlon Brando as Don Vito Corleone, this movie shows how one of the head mafia families in New York works. It gives a detailed picture of how their business runs and what kinda chances they got to take on their business. For example, their denial to step inside the narcotic business brings on a lot of troubles, but also it shows what kinda sacrifices they make. Every day could be their last day. Al Pacino shines above all in this movie. As the smart boy of the family, he returns after fighting a war for his country, at that time not involved in the family business, but it doesn't take long before the war breaks loose and he sees no other ways than to step in and fight for his family. This is definitely a must-see masterpiece.